Alright. And welcome everybody live to AlexandAv.com for the Game of the Year Awards! And we're here with the best strategy game of 2016. I'm your host, Chad, and I'm joined by Jason and Toby. And we're going to give you guys what we have on the list right now. We're going to break it all down, cut them up a little bit, and give you guys the best strategy game that came out this year. We're going to start with Punch Club. Holy shit. Did that come out this year?
I think it did, yeah. And I hate that game so
way.
much. Let's knock it off.
Well, Punch Club, I mean, it's a strategy game. You build a boxer and...
It's a terrible, hurtful game. It makes you feel bad.
So why is it on the list?
Because I put it on, and then I later changed my mind, and I was like, no, I hate that game.
But once you submit it, it's in there. It's
yeah,
final.
once you lock it in.
You know, going
thought
back.
about it for a second, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Ever run into the problem of creating your own roller coaster park? A lot of strategy goes into it. Planet Coaster is on the list.
But the strategy part of that game is broken, so we should probably knock that off right now.
That's kind of where I am too.
Goodbye, Planet Coaster.
Dun, dun, dun.
Great game though.
The top three here. It's going to be a barn burner.
This is going to be hard.
One of them I know will go off the list fairly quickly. Total War Warhammer, Civilization 6, and XCOM 2.
Goodbye, Total War Warhammer.
I'm
going to say Total War can't hang. I would drop XCOM 2, actually.
That's what I was thinking was going to get dropped, but I don't know.
I actually I love that Chad played it recently. XCOM 2 is still a great strategy game,
It's
and
so
like,
good.
yes, the RNG's so crappy sometimes.
Phenomenally crappy!
It's always been crappy.
But that's a part of the game, and the other thing is, that's part of the strategy.
Yes.
Just, if you build your guys right, you don't really have to rely on that RNG. None of my guys died on my playthrough, by the way. Now,
on your first playthrough?
In XCOM 1, trust me, it happened a lot. But I learned a
You
lot
were prepared for it.
from XCOM. Chad hadn't played in XCOM yet, so he's making those mistakes, thinking,
I lost guys on my first playthrough of XCOM 2 because...
Well, maybe you were playing on Commander.
I don't remember what I was doing.
Elite
But just the new enemies have like different patterns.
And I like that they had the unique stuff. But I kind of had my little.
I always end up I'm not very patient, so then I rush, and then I'm just like, oh, Toby's dead.
Yeah.
Dude, in
my 2, come on to life.
Who died in your game?
So this is my first experience with an XCOM game. I never played the original, so I really didn't know what's going on. I'm in the tutorial stages. I make a couple of characters. I beat the first level, so I'm in my first real level, and I don't know like what's what. And I'm trying to figure out the controls, and like one of these creatures comes out, and he starts taking mind control over Toby. And so I'm gonna go try and put the dude down that's taking control of Toby, and I miss. But I got another guy, so the other guy gets ready. And I thought I locked onto the guy, but apparently when someone's under mind control, you can attack them as well. And I shotgun blast Toby right in the face and wipe him off the face of the earth.
Intentionally shoots me.
Wow.
Gets me killed, and they sit on all my games. So you see where we're at.
Wow.
But XCOM though, like, and for a game that you're like...
Oh, before you guys all ask, I saved scum. I brought Toby back.
What?
Playing it wrong.
What can you do after the original, not original, but after the more recent XCOM formula to make it better? And like they did.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I like the way they did the story, where you're kind of like, the world kind of basically fell apart. You failed in the previous game.
Yeah. What a great place to pick up.
And it was, and like there was so much good stuff that I really wasn't expecting, and I liked it.
I like the DLC, the Shen's Revenge. I think is.
I'm in love with like all the abilities and like different paths you can take for your characters, like down the
They changed that up, so
kind of like randomness too. Like I created you as a grenader, and they ended up making you into some Psy guy instead. And I was just like, well, how the hell did that happen? This is cool because now I can explore it. I don't really get to choose what I want sometimes, but it's kind of neat because it's something I wouldn't probably take right away, so I get to explore that. And like the tactics that are involved, it's a very learning intensive game, and it makes me want to fucking punch someone in the face.
Yeah, it does get frustrating sometimes, but.
Ugh, dude.
Can I make a case
are really
real quick for Civ 6 because it's a Civilization formula, but I just think it's just done so well. I think it's better than Civ 4. I think it's better than Civ 5 on every level.
I like that they tweaked
changes.
I like that. I like the actually having the plan where you play stuff. I thought was really.
Gandhi doesn't nuke you anymore, does he?
Yes, absolutely.
Wait, Gandhi nukes you?
Yeah, they're actually, and if you look at the people that you meet, they have personalities basically that are randomly generated.
Oh, gotcha.
And so yeah, like one of the guys, like when you unlock it, it's like new cap. I can't remember what it's called.
That's pretty great because
behind the scenes it used to be like there was these random rolls. Now you can actually see what they are,
cool. I didn't realize
whether they're expansionist, and like and it all plays into whether they're gonna like you or not. And I like that they actually visually displayed it for you, and it's random. So you play Gandhi once, and it'll be totally different than Gandhi.
That's pretty cool.
And so much better than the shitfest that was Beyond Earth. Like it's.
Oh my god, yeah.
Beyond Earth was such a great concept, but they took all the core gameplay out of it. But Civilization 6 does kind of rely on like when you're going through your tech upgrades, you see what you like. I want nukes, and you
can plan it out much better.
You can, but you kind of fall into the same thing of where you're kind of OP and that's kind of where
just go for science, baby. Just win with science.
Well, because I think you have to go into each gameplay being like, how am I going to win this game? Am I going to be military, and I'm going to go OP, or am I going to be very passive in this playthrough? And if you don't, you're always going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of where like I wish there was a little bit of a difference between, like making every civilization a little bit more unique. Mm-hmm. I feel like they could have done that where maybe you have different tech trees where maybe guys learn certain things faster than, a different
that's interesting.
Where when you take like a more religious type of group, maybe all the religious stuff is easier to get and it's harder to get military, and it pushes you towards a religious victory as opposed to like I can take America or I can take Germany or I can take Gandhi.
I totally get that.
And like they all really, other than minor differences, and the differences in each of the civilizations isn't that major that it's a game changer. That
true.
You get a little antsy over here.
Because it is. I don't mean that just is what civilization always is, and I think if you switch the balance the other way, military's always been so overpowered.
Yeah.
In games / real life.
I did drive towards getting a economic victory, the tourists and everything, and I did win. The first time I played, Germany beat me, and like I would.
That was one of my favorite moments of the year. Was diving in on Toby's 24-hour opening day Civ section
and watching.
At the very, I didn't know he was at the end, and I just dove into a Steam game, and then I just watched him lose, and I was
Germany wins.
Well done,
Toby. And like, there's so much that they do good, but there's so much that's still really difficult to digest. Like, why is my tourism not going up? Like, I find it a lot of times when I play, you get to a point where it's really hard to expand when everybody else is doing just fine, because you have to you either have to go to war, you have to like basically take their tech or take their cities, or you have to research certain things to get your population, and it just and that's what I mean. It drives you towards getting sanitation.
Is Civ 6 better than Total War Warhammer at that? Like,
no, I think
every gameplay in Total War, I'm assuming, is very similar.
I think Total War made a lot different, a lot more strides in being different with the way that everything plays out. Like the different factions, like I said, different factions feel very different. Taking the dwarves is a different gameplay experience than taking Empire. And that's what I mean. Like in Civilization, no matter who you take, there's not that much of a difference. And even who's on the map, sometimes there's not that much of a difference because of the random personality rolls. Total War, I just feel like did such a good job of changing into that fantasy, embracing the fantasy. Yes, you're still going to see a lot of the same thing. It's an RTS. It's not. It's the same thing. Playing football isn't going to be marginally different, but it executed more. It did a lot more.
So Warhammer's better than Civ 6, you think, in your eyes?
Holy shit, dude.
That was a lot.
Talk about a lot to digest. Holy shit, dude.
It is, but I mean, like, it's a different type of strategy. If you like real-time strategy, Total War. If you like that chill kind of experience, Civ is a lot more relaxing.
I feel like I could play Civ for like 10 years. Like, I feel like I can just go back to it.
So what are we axing here? We're at top 3. XCOM 2, Civ 6, and Total War.
So XCOM 2, Game of the Year.
Best strategy game.
For me, it's
XCOM 2.
Overall, I feel like XCOM 2 is way more accessible than any of them, and
I'm torn between XCOM 2 and Civ 6. I I love XCOM to death. And I have a hard time saying XCOM 2 is better than the first XCOM, the reboot. But it was so much fun. I love it so much. I'm going XCOM 2.
Yeah.
I'm XCOM 2, man.
XCOM 2 it is.
I actually like
all of this civilization stuff to be like, and left turn, let's do it.
But it's like that's
that's the thing with the
gotta
strategy
know,
is like we took 3 different. Each one of those, XCOM is the best XCOM strategy game.
Yeah.
Total War is the best RTS. Civilization is the best.
Because they are very
so different.
strategy style games.
Yeah. So
crazy, dude. There it is, guys. Dude, AlexNav.com. Game of the Year for Best Strategy Game 2016. XCOM 2, which came into my life at the tail end of the year, dude, right around December here. So, and it's been blowing my mind ever since. I will try not to save scum too much, but
you're fucking
save scum.
You're cheesy. You're cheesy.
It's my first time.
You're always a cheesy gamer.
Save scum is okay the first time through.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Game of the Year Awards 2016. We're so glad that you're with us, and if you missed any videos, check out youtube.com/AllertonAv Live. I'm Chad. This is Jason and Toby, and we're bringing you guys all the news and Game of the Year Awards for 2016. See you later. Oh, that was the worst. That was the worst throw ever. I knocked our stream off.
That was actually